Hello, everybody. Very exciting episode today where we're going to be chatting about young people, why they matter, and things of that nature. So we've got Russ Wright with us. Hi, Russ.
Hi, Tom.
And Harrison.
Hello.
Great to have you both with us. So maybe we'll start with you, Harrison. Just tell us something about yourself, maybe what grade you're in at school and what you like to do.
I'm in grade 9 at school, and I generically like to program and write fiction.
Write fiction. Have you started any books?
Several,
Several.
but never finished one.
Never finished one. And what kind of things do you write about?
I prefer to have like more of a magic theme and fantasy
Nice.
than more base reality type of stuff.
Well, I look forward to reading one of your finished books one day. So,
Never finished one.
well, you've started young. Signs are good. And Russ, tell us a bit about yourself.
We run a non-profit charity for helping youth at risk and training young leaders, and we train youth workers in their own context, whether it's school or mainly schools. We're starting in unemployment programs just to help them integrate values to make life work easier.
Yeah, it sounds like an important and exciting area to be working in.
Yeah, it is. It's very rewarding.
Yeah.
It's a hard time these days. It's like young people or teenagers are too young to act like adults all the time, and they're too old to act like kids all the time. So you flip back and forth, which is just normal, but that's really frustrating to parents who are trying to get, if they're both working and they're to a schedule, but a family's not, and so that can be quite frustrating and then cause a lot of tension, which just makes the whole thing get worse and escalate. So
Yes. Where did your passion for young people start?
I think when I was in school myself, I remember being 14 like Harrison and just not liking school at all, and there was a lot of bullying culture from the teachers down, and I found it really hard to do my schoolwork because of just the fear and the chaos around. And I felt, well, if I get out of school, I'd like to learn actually what to do and how to handle this and go back to school and help students to do that. So that was where I started. And so I got out of school and started training as a youth worker. At night, I got an electoral apprenticeship, so I was working through the day, and then I was training at night, and I was in 3 Brisbane clubs, after school clubs, with some rough kids there, just being a youth worker and cutting my teeth there and seeing what worked and what didn't work, and I found like I just had a knack to get alongside them and help steer them a positive way.
Yeah, so you're running this program called Vital in schools. We might go to a video now just to give people a bit of an overview of that. We'll come back and talk about it, and send in your questions too for Russ. He's a bit of an expert in this area. Education, values, all that stuff. So send those questions in and we'll go to that video now.
What if there was an alternate way to engage and motivate groups? It's called the Vital paradigm. The 3 vital colours hold the key. The paradigm is the application of 3 principles. Each principle is represented by a colour. First, let's look at red. Beyond fear, by creating safe and inclusive cultures, dissolving conflict, apathy and bullying. Let's check out green. Beyond rules, through action-based learning, respecting diversity, ourselves and the environment. And now for blue. Beyond lectures, through life skills coaching, self-discovery learning and reflection. Applied together, they bring out the best in groups. The Vital paradigm is effective across a variety of ages, cultures and different emotional needs, proven to encourage positive behaviour change and facilitate self-motivation. Thanks for watching, and find out more at vitalprojex.com.
So exciting stuff by the looks of it, teaching values. Let's go to a question about young people, and in society, I don't know if you feel this, Harrison, sometimes young people are overlooked and maybe not valued as much as older adults. Why do you think that might be?
Frequently younger people in my generation are thought to be more of a rough, crazy, like not very understandable or reasonable set of people. Like we're generally thought to be mostly people who like to break the rules and who like to go out of their way to do things that they think would impress others.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that causes us to frequently be thought as like not quite adult and not quite child either, and that just puts us in a strange section of life that most people wouldn't acknowledge exists. So generally we get overlooked because we're in a phase that most people wouldn't admit is an actual thing.
Yeah. What do you think, Russ?
Yeah, I agree with Harrison. It's a difficult age because mid-teens or even early teens, it's important for them to gain independence, right? And when you're 14, 15, you start thinking in concepts for yourself and start questioning, your parents' values and what they believe or don't believe and what you want to do. And so then, you've got also the education system forcing you to, okay, what direction you're going to go, where you're going to go, and what are you going to do? And so, how do you make your mind up when you're 14 or 15? And so, parents really need to change the parenting style once they hit teens or pre-teens, because before then you can tell them what to do and get in the car and run in a hurry. But when they start feeling needing independence, it's about you need to start treating them more like adult and asking them. And so we call it invitational language. So it's like inviting them to, hey, can you do this? And when we talk, when we're working with, say, 12-year-olds either side, it's like, hey, we want to treat you like adults. So we're going to invite you to do something. And I know that's probably pretty foreign to you. But hopefully you can get used to it. But if you don't respond, like, okay, can you mind, we need to get in the car by 3:30. Do you mind getting in the car by then? If you don't respond to them and say, get in the car, like we're going to tell you what to do, like you were when you're younger. But it's like, but we want to treat you like an adult, and invite you to do things. So and we want to start respecting you and your independence, and can you respect us back? So it sort of starts. That's one piece of the puzzle anyway, to start respecting their independence and help them becoming more independent.
Right. So you give them the opportunity to go along and make the choice, positive choice. But if they're not going to go with that, there is room for telling them what to do.
I think that when they're that age, as they get older, but like if you've got hard and fast rules and just like, no, do this, do that, and boss them around, well then they're just going to rebel against that. And so, but if you, we call it a group deal. We've got an app we're developing about just a code of honor for families, and you talk about how you'd like to be treated, and you will work towards that, and you apologize if you blow it. But it's what was I going to say? It'll come to me. Yeah,
Sure will. Now, if we're looking at education of young people, pretty important. What do you think are the sorts of things people your age, Harrison, need to be learning about?
So just when we're younger than we are currently, than I am currently, we don't really get taught the rules of external people. We get taught the rules of people in our family, but not really the people outside of our family and like the country that we live in. We're not really taught the laws or the ideation behind what is correct social behavior. And I think that if we were taught that a lot younger and had it put into us so that we can register it at a younger age, a lot more people like my age wouldn't be breaking all the rules and rebelling. And even still, if we were taught more of the laws now, then I think it would still have an effect on our later lives, just like it would if we were taught them 10 years ago. So
Yeah. So instilling those, and the reason why, would you say, behind the laws as well? Would that help?
yeah, because then it shows them what impact they would have if they did this thing, and it would explain why they shouldn't do it.
Yeah. Okay. What do you think the most important things we should be teaching?
Yeah, it's the economy really. It's schools are got under a lot of pressure to be teaching education and keeping up with the standard, but they've dropped a lot of pastoral life skills. Some schools are picking that up, and that's great. But learning where is the skills of being able to grow in patience and be able to budget and so that's why we work with values. We work with over 50 values, personal values. Something like patience or being aware of others and how you come in across, being thoughtful, respectful, forgiving. Relationships just stop if you don't forgive. You just want to get revenge, and so it's about another value we have is being unoffendable. Don't get offended so easily.
Yeah.
And so it's about learning these and seeing that, hey, these are just like muscles. We call them superpowers, and you just got to exercise them. So if you haven't got much patience, just holding your patience for another 10 seconds is actually strengthening that muscle within you. So you've got more patience. So we, with the young people we work with, it's like, okay, do you think that if you're cooperative and honest and committed and reliable and responsible, you think you would get hired quicker than the rest of your peers who aren't like that? So, oh yeah. Do you think you would be promoted quicker and be earning more money so you could get a car and oh yeah, yeah. What? And then, well, do you think you would attract maybe a better quality partner with these sort of qualities as well? So you would actually enjoy each other's relationship and be less fighting, and then they would be a better partner or parent to your kids if you stick with that person. Oh yeah. So what can you do now to start practicing and exercising these superpowers, these muscles? Be more patient, be reliable. What can you do to be reliable? And so just going home and doing chores and packing the dishwasher and folding the clothes and mowing the lawn. It's not about helping your parents. It's about helping yourself, and that's something that we've lost. I think it's hard to get, even my kids, it was hard to get them to just out in the yard and help you with the yard work. They wanted to play in their games. And so it's about, helping them to grow and understand, hey, this is the reason for the pain. It's actually helping us be better quality people.
Yeah. Sounds like the sort of thing young people would appreciate being taught. Do you think, Harrison?
Yeah, I think they'd much more appreciate being taught the way to be more respectful and get more respect than just to have things thrown upon them that they should do to be a good person.
Yeah. One of the things I heard this week was, how can you be a better parent? How can you get along with young people better? And it's remembering what life was like when you were a child. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, for sure. We live in a very complex society. There's so many things from taxes and there's so many bills and things coming in and trying to pay off the loans and and COVID's sitting on top of that. So, but if we can see that, hey, this is a chance. If life is about growing in personal values, so this is a chance for me to grow more in patience and be more reliable and have more capacity. Because I think today life is so easy. For young people, like you don't have to try hard. Like the food's always in the fridge, and you get whatever you want, and you can play games, and so you're not out there being creative and inventive and sorting stuff out yourself as easily. And so growing in resilience just doesn't happen. So when you get in school and you fail an exam, or you break up with a boyfriend or girlfriend, it's like it's the worst thing in the world because you haven't built any strength to be able to handle that.
Yeah.
So And I think that's what our education system could
Yes.
focus on, and that's what we do in the programs in the schools, is actually build that, and it just changes lives very quickly.
Yeah, I think that's probably part of it. The young people just hit an obstacle and give up because they don't know it's okay to struggle. And I'm a bit of a runner, and ran a marathon this morning actually.
Oh, good on you.
But it's amazing. I've run 7 now, and you feel the same pains as you did in your first one, but you learn over time that it's okay. This should hurt, and this should be painful, and you push through. Whereas at the beginning, it's hard. You want to stop. You do stop. So training kids that this is hard. This is meant to be difficult, and life isn't easy, but that's okay. And if you work at it, this is where you can get. So that really makes sense. But you're big into teaching values. So why values, and what are some of the values that are most crucial, do you think?
Yeah, I think we work with over 50, and they sort of layer with each other. Because you can be, if you have a high value of kindness and you're kind to everybody, well, then you can easily become a doormat. Everybody uses you. So kindness needs to be matched with being assertive, which is confident yet thoughtful. But if you're too assertive, well, then you're just bossing everybody around. So you need to match those two. One of the key ones is detachment. It's positive sense of detachment. So it's not letting your feelings or thoughts control you. And so how many times does that happen, and how much would that help young people? You know, you get a text or look at a comment on Facebook, and it's like, you know, it's just crushing. It's like, no, wait a second, that's their opinion and that's their issue. I'm not going to wear it myself. I'm going to just stay detached and not let that affect my thoughts. And so it's like a great story I heard is about, there's 2 dogs, a black and white dog in a cage, and you could only feed one of them. They fought all the time. And so which one's going to win? Obviously the one you feed, you know? And so if you've got black and white thoughts, which one is going to win if whatever you feed? So if you're thinking down and negative thoughts, well, then the black dog's going to beat all the positive thoughts and how you're feeling every time. So it's about catching your thoughts and just disciplining them. So like being grateful, that is just one thing of focusing on, what am I grateful for today? And this whole grateful page, it just makes a difference to depression. It changes your brain to the problem.
Yeah, it's good. We've got someone saying they like the idea of invitational language. Now, you brought up something about social media, and that's a different side of things, isn't it? I think some parents might not feel equipped to train kids in that area. What do you think, Harrison? Do you think parents in general, we won't talk about your parents, understand that dynamic of social media, gaming, and that internet world?
I think that because of the difference between our generations, normally the parents of my generation aren't very, haven't lived with the tech that we are living with. And so I think there is some level of misunderstanding and caution unnecessary from those. But I think also they have a lot of the right opinions about it, that you should be careful, that you shouldn't spend all your time on it, and that you should work on your relationships in reality more than you do on your internet device.
Yeah, I guess values transcend real life to online platforms. Anything for you to say about that, Russ?
Yeah, for sure. I think we've never been here in history like we are today. It's like this is all new and it's changing all the time. And so, you know, parents are scrambling. What do I do? And young people are finding it like, okay, I'll just find the easiest path. But that leads to watching, you know, a lot of violent games or pornography. And pornography is a huge issue with even under 10 watching it and becoming violent, or the whole relationship thinks that's how you act, as these actors do. And so that's just creating depression and violence and unhealthy relationships. So it's something you've got to keep thinking through.
Yeah. Okay. So when we're looking at education, just generally, I guess, what do you think ways that education can be improved? We're looking at the way kids are taught. What could change for the better?
Again, I think that if we're taught how we should act and how people around us in society should act, and how we're supposed to help the people in society around us act, and the fact that if we all work together, we're able to change specific things for the better.
Mm-hmm.
We can stop a lot more of the crimes that happen now if we just go back a couple years and teach people how to act around other people and how to socially be a person.
Yeah, that's a big thing, isn't it? Social education. Everyone wants to get along with others, but if people learn through experience that people don't really like me, or I'm no good at school, or those sorts of things, and no one's there to encourage them and show them a way out of that, it can be quite discouraging, and that can cause the rebellion and the giving up. Yeah, so what do you think, education, what's a couple of ways it could improve?
I think, the schools have got to stick to a curriculum. I think having our programs, which is just a double period a week, we've got a program for 15 years and up, and then unlimited is for years 10 to 14. The values education programs that just make a difference, and so even after 4 weeks, they're changing, and after a term, their grades are coming up. They're getting on better with their parents. They're respecting their teachers. We found studies with nearly 70% of suspension rates have dropped by just after a term. So it just makes a difference in helping them, and that can complement what schools are doing. Instead of we just need a decent class time a week and be able to train people. So
sounds like a good investment. I know I've worked as a teacher, and if you can invest a bit of time into getting kids motivated about their learning, that's priceless, because otherwise a lot of the class time might be 6 hours a day, but if kids aren't motivated to be there, that's wasted time sometimes. So I think it's more than worth it. Any final thoughts about young people, education, and what you're doing, Russ?
I just think just seeing every day as being able to grow in values, and like, what am I weak in? Is it encouragement or kindness or thoughtfulness or just being aware of people? Making that a goal, I think that's the secret that's missing to be happier in life and enjoy it and be in control.
Yeah, so that's for everyone. All of us can grow in values, and small steps each day make a positive difference. Any particular a challenge you could give us for the week? Something from one of your programs?
I think we'll see how much potential you have. You have so much potential, and by growing that, so every time you have a go at something, it might feel like, oh, I can't do that, I'll fail. But there's a growth gap there that you've grown in, and so you might be able to get there yet. But every time you have a go, you get stronger inside. There's these muscles and values until you get there. So if there's things that don't let fear be your master, push past that, and just connect with people, even in the line at the service station. So just say good day, and just a smile has saved people's lives, because, oh wow, someone cares, or there's something bright in the world. So keep looking for things that are difficult, because they are the things that make us grow, and then they're no longer difficult after all, just like you're running.
Yeah, I like that. Look for things that are difficult, which is counterintuitive, but with that intentionality and with that thought, I think when you know it's going to be difficult, that just acknowledging that fact gives you that motivation to try and succeed, because this thing, everyone wants to overcome challenges, otherwise life's boring. Any final thoughts from you, Harrison?
No, not really, other than the fact that if we work to show people how to treat other people, then I think that a lot of people could have their days brightened, and a lot of people could experience a lot more joy than they do now.
Yeah, all right, get out there and have a go. That's the message. Really glad those of you who are watching live, hello to you, and anyone watching later, that's great as well. You can leave us a comment or head to our website and send us a message. We'd be more than happy to respond. Anything we've talked about today, and who knows, you might even request to have Russ back if you liked our discussion. But hope to see you during the week, and you can find out more about that on our website. But bye for now. Thank you very much, Russ. Thank you, Harrison.
Thanks,
Great
Paul.
to have you with us.
Great. Thank you.